In today's news, VIP sworn into office, coalition government could have been formed. Fraser completely overplayed his hand, says CLINE. VIP wins the majority of the 13 seats in the 2023 general elections. All four parties were in discussions to decide the best way forward. King and Richardson have been charged in connection with the death of an infant, and VI reacts to Lorna Smith aligning herself with the VIP. We have the details of this and so much more when we return after a quick commercial break.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Stephen Payne.
That was a 9 out of 10. I know you got the service down pat.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually
you're feeling it.
Alonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites.
It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy.
Hello everyone and welcome. It's Wednesday, April 26th, 2022. Welcome to this edition of 284 News. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for joining us. Beginning our newscasts on the local scene, coming straight out of our general elections. After a successful night at the polls on Monday, April 24th, 2023, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley and his Virgin Islands Party comrades were sworn into as members of the government on yesterday, Tuesday, April 25th. This was made possible by the decision of at-large Representative-elect Lorna Smith OBE to align herself with the Virgin Islands Party, giving the VIP administration the 7-seat majority required to assume government. In a brief swearing-in ceremony, it was revealed that Premier Wheatley had appointed Mrs. Smith to be Deputy Premier of the incoming government. Now, additionally, both the Premier and Deputy will hold ministries. It was also revealed that at the time, Honorable Kai Reimer, Honorable Cherie B. De Castro, Honorable Vincent Wheatley will be cabinet ministers, while the Honorable Luce Hodge Smith and Dr. the Honorable Carl Dawson will be junior ministers. The swearing-in of the leader of the opposition will take place on a later date, as well as the announcement of each of the individual ministerial posts. Talk show host Claude Skelton-Klein is casting blame on District 3-elect Honorable Julian Fraser R.A. for his role in the failure of a coalition government being formed within the territory. According to Klein, who was speaking on his Honestly Speaking radio program on Tuesday, he called out the former opposition leader, stating that he completely overplayed his hand during the discussions between the National Democratic Party, the Progressive Virgin Islands Movement, and his Progressive United.
Julian Fraser completely overplayed his hand. Completely. Selfishly. But in his own mind, I suspect he thought he was doing the right thing. Not sure for who. But overplayed his hand because the PVIM and PU came to this country and said that we have endorsed each other. We have a commitment that at the end of this all, we will work together. And whether or not they had worked out what working together meant, clearly, Julian, the member of the 3rd District, overplayed, overreached his hand, and they were unable to form a government that could have been formed shortly after the election was called on last evening.
With 7 elected officials needed to form a new government in the territory during the times of the discussions, the Virgin Islands Party had 6, the NDP 3, PVIM 3, and PU 1. This ultimately meant that someone from the other political parties would have to have joined the VIP to make the quota needed, which later occurred, or the other 3 parties would have had to merge to form a coalition government. CLINE said the latter three political parties had one simple job of coming together to bring change within the territory, but failed at achieving this very simple goal.
You had three from the National Democratic Party. Was it three? Honorable Marlon Penn, Myron Walwyn, Lorna Smith, right? On the PVIM, Ronnie W. Skelton, Stacey Mater, Melvin Mitch Turnbull. 3-3. And then you had Julian Fraser from the PU. All you had to do was form the government. That's all you had to do. Now, in the first instant, what happened?
The former VIP supporter said egos should have been put aside for the betterment of the territory. He further claimed that Fraser's deal was to be premier of the Virgin Islands or nothing at all.
That I'm encouraging those 7 people to check their egos at the door, to be emotionally sober as they deliberate and then ultimately decide what this government should look like. And the member of the 3rd District overreach and being or wanting to be and choosing a position of wanting to be premier of the country or nothing at all. And you know, sometimes when you hear about things, you say, "Oh, yeah," but sometimes when you hear about things and you see some things up close, you say, "My God," just when you think you've seen it all.
CLINE said that Fraser's quest for power resulted in him maintaining it only for a short period of 6 hours instead of 4 years. Had he compromised on his stance to have the alliance between the 3 parties form a coalition government.
You can't believe some of this stuff. That Julian Fraser had an opportunity to be a part of a government, hold a ministry, after sitting in opposition for some 12 to 16 years now, and by God, power right in his hand, and allow it to slip from his hand in 6 hours. For 6 hours, Julian Fraser held power. And because could not be emotionally sober enough and choose to sit in a position of power to empower for the next 4 years, he was satisfied with just holding it for 6 hours instead of 4 years. Now, you explain that to me. You tell me why the people in the 3rd District, you tell me why this country shouldn't be mad as hell and frustrated and dismayed.
And speaking of election in the Virgin Islands, take a look as Supervisor of Elections Sherry Ann Griffin read the final tally to the end of the election proceedings Monday night.
The overall contest winner for District 1, Carl Dawson, with 452 votes. District 2, Melvin M. Turnbull, 560. District 3, Julian Fraser, 459. District 4, Luce Hodge Smith, 322. District 5, Kai M. Reimer, 840. District 6, Myron Walwyn, 736. District 7, Natalia D. Wheatley, 487. District 8, Marlon Penn, 885. District 9, Vincent A. Whitley, 491. The top 4 territorial electoral district results are as follows. Stacy Mather, 3617. Lorna Smith, 3578. Sherry Bianca Y. DeCastro, 3471. Ronnie W. Skelton, 3332.
That the coalition government that was so highly anticipated did not form. The Progressive Virgin Islands Movement Party, the Virgin Islands Party, the National Democratic Party, and Progressive United were set to all be in active discussions on the morning after elections, that is Tuesday, to decide on the best way forward for the BVI following the decision at the polls. This was confirmed in a statement published by the Progressive Virgin Islands Movement, which won a total of 3 seats, including Chairman Ronnie W. Skelton, who won at-large candidacy, Stacy Mather as well at-large candidacy, and Melvin Mitch Turnbull within the 2nd District. Now, in a statement, the PVIM revealed that they met with the political parties to aid with their next move, and I quote, "We have met with all elected persons and groups, namely Progressive United, the Virgin Islands, the National Democratic Party, the Virgin Islands Party, to decide the next step as we seek to form a government in the best interest of the aspirations of the people of the Virgin Islands." It added, "We left our offices and groups at about 4 a.m. on that morning, April 25th, working on your behalf. By 8 a.m., we will reconvene for a meeting and the different groups to decide where we go, as we want to have the best interests of the people vested in the interest of this territory and what you elected us to do in the best interest of the Virgin Islands. Therefore, we will be coming to you, the public, to present this full picture." The PVI in that statement also promised its voters that the principles of its party will not be tarnished in whatever decision is made, saying, and I quote, "Your votes indicate that you want the best and brightest of what the Virgin Islands have to offer. Rest assured that we will not compromise our principles and values of integrity, transparency, and accountability, amongst others, because we know that these things matter to you most, as they also do to us." Viewers, up next, we have more local news. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Is that my lunch? Is that my lunch?
We're like the coworker that doesn't eat your lunch.
I'm John. I'm John.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Today, I am doing coral treatments with Beyond the Reef. Today, we are doing shark research. So today, we are doing whale research with Beyond the Reef. And wherever I go, I take CCT with me because my life is unlimited.
Kids, let's go! Sean, what are you doing?
I solved it. We'll buy our life insurance policy from this company and then go over here and get our home insurance. Then get our motor policy from right over here.
Or we could just get everything with CG Insurance. Save a lot of money and effort.
They do it all? Even pensions?
Even pensions.
We're like a husband that doesn't overcomplicate everything. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking with us. 2 residents of Greenland East End have been charged in connection with the death of a 9-month-old baby who died earlier this month. They are 35-year-old Monica King and 25-year-old Juwan Richardson, who each received a charge of manslaughter on Tuesday, April 25th. According to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, the 2 were caring for the male infant at the time of his death on April 7th. And I quote, both King and Richardson are to appear in magistrate's court at the next available sitting. There has been a mixed reaction from the public as it relates to the decision by Honorable Lorna Smith, OBE, to align herself with the Virgin Islands Party. After results from the polls ended in no political party that is succeeding to achieve 7-seat major majority needed to assume government. Smith, who ran on the ticket of the National Democratic Party as an at-large candidate, announced that she would be joining the 6 selected VIP candidates to move forward with a new administration. She was later sworn in as the Deputy Premier and Minister-elect. This move came as a surprise to many and various members of the public who took to social media and other platforms to express their views on the matter. One concerned Virgin Islander told 284 Media, "I am not in disagreement with the formation of the government because it is now a VIP government. If the people wanted that and voted for that, I would have been okay with it. Okay, cool. I didn't want this, but this is what the people wanted. Let's do it and just do a better job at holding them accountable," or something along those lines. He went on to explain the root of his concerns on the matter. And I quote, "For someone to campaign against a party and their ideologies, tactics, decisions over the past 4 years, etc., and then switch to them just about 12 hours after the elections, that is downright foul. A lot of people I know who voted for her voted because she was non-VIP affiliated. She deceived the voting population, and that's not okay." Continuing on, a VIP government, and I quote, "with Shawande as premier would not have been ideal, but a VIP government with Shawande as premier, Lorna as deputy, will have Lorna running circles around him. The elites are now in power, and I have a strong feeling we're about to be sold piece by piece to the highest bidder. If she got deputy under a coalition government with the other members, they would have kept her in check. In my opinion, there is no one on the VIP side that is strong enough on their principles, morals, and other related stuff who could stop Lorna from doing whatever she decides over the next 4 years." Social media also has been flooded with public commentary on the matter as members of the public shared posts, memes, and videos capturing various views on the matter. One clip featuring the reaction of talk show host Claude Skelton CLINE has been particularly popular.
Who rallied and railed against the Virgin Islands Party for all their corruptible ways, in their own words, not mine. I'm explaining what happened. I'm describing what happened. And then we turn around, then Lorna, who was in your corner, turn around and join the same Virgin Islands Party. Huh? Corner, not your corner. I don't want to song it. Lorna in your corner. Now we understand what corner Lorna in. Lorna end up in the VIP corner. Now y'all don't look at me funny. Ain't no need, because I ain't scared of none of you. Don't look at me funny. I'm just talking about what happened. This morning, that's what we learned. That's what the country, shortly after waking up to, wiping the stuff out of their eyes, because some of them couldn't hardly sleep last night. My God. Now, listen to this good. Listen to this good. Y'all listen to this good. Nobody, I could not have fathomed within the deepest recesses of my imagination that if anybody would have moved from the National Democratic Party or the Progressive, I would have never thought that, not Lorna Smith, not Lorna Smith. Not Lorna Smith.
Another member of the public took to a public forum to issue this message to Smith following her decision to align with the VIP, and I quote, "With all due respect, Mrs. Smith, you have flip-flopped your way through this election. Independent, NDP, now VIP. The country needs stability. Please let this be your last placement for these 4 years. Kindly stick to the side and commit to it. It would indeed have been best if you had remained independent, then your switch would have been viewed in a better light and not tingled with the stench of betrayal to the party you campaigned with. Now moving forward, I hope you put the people first and not Lorna first. You promise a lot, so we expect a lot from you. With that being said, congratulations. Let's move forward." Members of the public have also spoken in support of the move, sharing that it is their understanding that Ms. Smith was in a unique position and had to act in the best interest of these Virgin Islands by being in their minds, and I quote, in their corner, regardless of party. One Facebook addressed the outcry, stating, and I quote, "Many of these responses are hilarious in my opinion because many of you were all for country during the elections and claimed not to be about self or party, but now your responses show a different story." She continued, and I quote, "This election has been one of the greatest. The people were elected last night. The people that were elected last night were highly qualified individuals who have proven themselves within our community, whether professionally and some personally. Many are individuals who care about these Virgin Islands wholeheartedly. And in my heart, I know that they will fight with everything within them to get the job done." Smith has also spoken amid the criticism and justified the move in a recent statement where she said, and I quote, "I started my campaign as an independent candidate before joining the NDP, and throughout my campaign, my promises to you and my plans for the future have never once wavered. That is," she said, "because I place the needs of our country above the needs of a political party, and I will never lose sight of that fact." She continued, "I have decided that in order to ensure a cohesive, clear, and dynamic government can be sworn in, that I will form a coalition with the VIP. This is no lightweight decision, nor is it born from a need for power and control." She said, "It is a decision based upon her desire to serve you, the people, to the best of her abilities within that determination for change to start immediately within the country." Now, Smith acknowledged that this decision may cause shock in the public space or cause members of the public to doubt the political manifestations and machineries of our country. Nonetheless, she urged Virgin Islanders to remain steadfast and to remain focused on the country over party by saying, and I quote, "It is only by focusing upon that we grow as a nation within every voice and making sure every voice is heard." The Criminal Investigations Unit of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has launched an investigation into 2 suspicious fires that occurred on Tortola just several hours apart, which resulted in severe damage to several boats. This was confirmed by the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force in a media release on Wednesday, following the fires which occurred in Freshwater Pond, West End, and again on Road Reef, Road Town, respectively. In an official comment, they said, in the fire near Big Ben's gas station reported just 10 p.m. last night, 2 boats were destroyed and 1 partially damaged, while at Road Reef Marina, a fire reported around 5 a.m. this morning destroyed 1 catamaran and 4 motor vessels. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force also stated detectives from the unit are appealing to the public who can provide any information that can result in identifying the perpetrators of the persons responsible for this. Viewers, will be right back after a quick commercial break.
Is someone gonna get that?
Hello.
Hello.
So nice of you to have cleaned up for us. Hi, baby.
We're like in-laws that don't show up unannounced.
Don't worry, I've got this.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
She? I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Andy, turns out I'm allergic to the Australian veggie spread.
Ooh, thankfully CG will cover you anywhere in the world. Remember when I went to Australia for my title fight? Trust me when I say you do not want to get in the ring with a kangaroo.
It wasn't until my victory dinner with the Sultan that I realized top shelf caviar doesn't agree with me. But I was covered. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm teaching your cousin how to use a flamethrower. Woohoo!
Medical cover anywhere in the world. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Closing out our newscast today, 284 Media asked you, the Virgin Islands, what your ideal government would look like. Hundreds of you answered the call, and this is what you had to say. When asked who you would like to see become the next premier of the Virgin Islands, the most popular contenders in our study were Ronnie W. Skelton, Dr. Natalia Wheatley, and Lorna Smith. When asked who you would like to see assume the role, that is, of the opposition leader in the House of Assembly, the top pick was Dr. Natalia Wheatley. He was followed most closely by Marlon A. Penn and Julian Fraser. Each participant in the survey was also tasked to make ministerial assignments. Results showed the following assignments as the most favored. Minister for Communications and Works, Kai Reimer. Minister for Health and Social Development, Marlon Penn. Minister of Finance, Ronnie W. Skelton. Minister of Natural Resources and Labor, Melvin Turnbull. Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs and Sports, Stacey Mather. These assignments reflected the results of a survey based on the participant's choice and do not reflect the composition of the Cabinet of the Virgin Islands. Finally, participants were asked who they believe should be the Speaker of the House of Assembly. At the end of the survey, it was evident that a majority of responders were in favor of the continuing of the speakership of Karine George Mascot. However, several others were named as favored candidates in this position, including Ingrid Moses Catliff, Julian Willock, Dawn Carrera-Leonard, and Dawn Smith. We are pleased to report that a significant level of responses was received in the exercise and allowed a wide cross-section of the Virgin Islands society to be represented. Viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. I want to thank you so much for sticking with us. Do have a beautiful rest of the day. Be sure to stick to our 284media.com website, as well as our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page for more news and daily interviews. Do have a pleasant rest of the evening. I'm Ron Grant. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Looks like Johnny's ex-girlfriend finally found my car.
You've got CG. You're fine. I'll never forget the year those monkeys stole my car. They drove it over a cliff, burned the seats, and carved the words pineapple banana smoothie into all the doors. And that was after they used it for the bank heist. I don't blame them. It's their favorite smoothie, and I refuse to share the recipe.
No deductible for theft, malicious damage, and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Goes my new car. Guess I'm back on my bike.
Your bike? CG offers new car replacement. Remember my monster truck days? Well, one night I attempted a 50-foot pogo double backflip. I landed it and went to karaoke. It wasn't until afterward that my car got hit by that fisherman. He gave me some great mahi-mahi, though. Anyway, they paid fast and got me in a new car. Now call a cab. I want you to meet my alpaca guy.
New car replacement for the first year of ownership. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. 284 Media proudly presents its newest talk show, The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, with yours truly, Ron Grant. A show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Don't worry, it's not all about suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a 284 Media production.
Angie, how can I get my claims paid quick? Rent's due next week.
CG processes 99% of claims within 5 days. Remember when I was hang gliding with those goats? I caught a gust of wind and flew